Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Premavasya Prabhu, Dandat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna Babuji, Dhanapam Babuji.
Just 1 second. Huh?
Yes.
Sankarshan Prabhu, once done, let me know.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can start.
Okay. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandat Pranam. So we are very, very fortunate to have Premavasya Prabhu today to enlighten us from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 13, Text 24. Over to you, Prabhu. You can continue.
Thank you, Babuji. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakhanvitam Sam Shri Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Prabhuji, shloka, should I share or will you share?
I will share, Babuji.
Okay, thank you.
Can you see Babuji shloka?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, we can.
Okay. So, welcome devotees. So, in this class, we are going to discuss on Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 13th chapter, verse number 24. Sri Sukha Uvacha Iti evam Uttaramatah Savai Brahmarsi Sutah Sindhupataya Atmasattam Vignayatah Paranubhavah Parama Karunika Katayo Padisya Rahuganena Sakaruna Abhivanditah Charana Apurnava Iva Nirbhita Karnomi Asya Dharinim Imam Vicharaha. Synonyms and by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Sukha Uvacha. Sri Sukdev Goswami said, Iti evam, in this way, Uttara Mataha, O Maharaj Parikshit, son of Mother Uttara, Saha, that Brahmana, why, indeed, Brahmarsi Sutaha, Jadabharat, the son of highly educated Brahmana, Sindhu Patayam, unto the king of province of Sindhu, Atma Satatvam, the actual constitutional position of the soul, Vignayataha, although insulting Jadbharata, Para Anubhavaha, who was very exalted in spiritual realization, Parama Karunikataya, by his quality of being very kind to fallen souls, Upadisya, instructing, Rahuganena, by King Rahugana, Sa Karunam, piteously, Abhivanditaha Charanaha, whose lotus feet were worshipped, Apurna Arnava Iva, like the full ocean, Nirvrita, completely silenced, Karana, the senses, Urmi, the waves, Asyaha, possessing a heart in which Dharanim, the earth, Imam, this, Vichachara, continue to roam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Sukdev Goswami continued, My dear king, O son of Mother Uttara, there were some waves of dissatisfaction in the mind of Jadbharata due to his being insulted by King Rahugana, who made him carry his palanquin. But Jad Bharat neglected this, and his heart again became calm and quiet like an ocean. Although King Rahugana had insulted him, he was a great Prahamsa. Being a Vaishnava, he was naturally very kind hearted, and he therefore told the king about the constitutional position of the soul. He then forgot the insult because King Rahugana pitifully begged pardon at his lotus feet. After this, he began to wander all over the earth just as before. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Kapil Dev describes the symptoms of great personalities. Titikchava, Karunikaha, Suhida, Sarvadehinam. A saintly devotee is certainly very tolerant. He is the friend of all living entities and he does not create enemies within the world. A pure devotee has all the qualities of a sadhu. Jadbharata is an example of this. Due to the material body, his senses were certainly agitated when he was insulted by King Rahugana, but later, due to the king's humble submission, Jadbharata excused him. It is the duty of everyone designed to return to Godhead to become submissive like Rahugana and beg pardon of Vaishnava one may have offended. Vaishnavas are generally very kind hearted. Therefore, if one immediately submits himself at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava, one is immediately cleared of offensive reactions. If one does not do so, the reactions will remain and the result will not be very palatable. So, this verse is very important for sadhaka like us. The most important aspect that we'll discuss here is like why a devotee like Jad Bharata, he felt insulted by the act of Rahugana of putting him carrying the task of the palanquin. So the idea is that we have this material body, and till we possess this material body, we will always be in under the influence of these three modes of nature unless we are able to surpass it. So in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, verse 23, Lord says, Saknoti iheva sodim prak sarira vimokchanat kam krodha udbhavam begam sa yukta sa sukhi naraha. Only person who can live happily in this world is who is able to Saknoti ihaiva sodum prak sarir vimokshana. Before leaving this body, before leaving this body, one is able to tolerate the urges of Kam, Krodh, Udbhavam Begam. So, Kam means the desire to enjoy the senses. The desire to enjoy the senses is very strong, even if the mind says that it is not good, even if the intelligence says it is not good, but once you have all the circumstances are there to enjoy the senses they become agitated to enjoy the sense gratification. And similarly, mind is carried away. And what to talk about if the mind is also involved? Senses are already attracted towards the sense objects. And if mind is also involved, then the intelligence cannot control it. So Lord says that we should try all our best, so that we are able to tolerate this urges of sense enjoyment and the subsequent krodha. So dhyayate visyan pumsa sanga tesu pajayate sanga sanjayate kama kamat krodha vijayate. So this is the nature of the sense enjoyment, that initially it will attract us, and if if it gets fulfilled, then we develop more desire to get it. If it is not fulfilled, then we develop anger to the person or the circumstances who doesn't allow it to happen. And if the circumstances or the person is bigger than us, then it also creates a fear. So therefore, it is very important that we should develop the ability to check the forces of desire. It is said, Kam, Krodha, Udbhavam, Vegam. So there is a veg. So there is a veg means there is a force. So this force is very strong. This force is it is internal, it develops from within, and it is very fast. So veg means Vayu veg, water veg, I mean Jal veg. So you must have seen if the water flows, if the force is very strong, the tide is very strong. It is very difficult to control. Similarly, this vega, vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jiva vegam, udar upastha vegam. So all these vega means all these forces are very strong within us. So a sadhaka should never underestimate the power of this vega, the power of these forces of the senses. One should never think that I have been able to control my senses for last 1 week or last 1 month or last 10 years, last 20 years. It does not matter how long a devotee has been able to control. One should always keep it under check, and should always think that it is not under my control and always endeavor to control it. Now, one topic that we need to discuss here is that by whose strength we think that we will be able to control our senses. Is it based on our physical, mental capability? Is it the strength of our sadhanas? Number two, and number three, is it the our faith in the Lord's causes mercy that we will be able to control it? So, uh, I mean, I mean, day before yesterday. So I was standing in the queues for the prasadam, and then the prasadam was being served, and there were certain liquid items here there, and some solid items here there, like, and and I had nothing in my hand so that I can accept the prasadam. So it is said that to accept the prasadam or to accept something, one must have patrata. Patrata means one must be qualified to accept it. But in the sense, I was not qualified to accept the prasada because the prasada was being served, and I my hands were empty. I was not carrying anything in my hand to take the prasada. And if I reach there and the Prabhu is serving dal or the gravy vegetables, I cannot say that give me in my hand. If he's giving charnamid, it's okay, I can take in my hand, but the volume is large, I cannot take it. And so there are chapatis, puris, and the rice, and many items were there because we are serving the feast of Prabhupada Discipline's Day. So I cannot take it. So, but then I realized that I did not carry anything. I did not carry any patrata. I should not carry any qualification to accept the prasadam. What I need to do, I just need to stand in the queue. I just need to follow the instructions. And what will happen when I reach the appropriate place? Patrata will be given to me, and then I can accept the prasada. So that reminds me of a feeling that we do not have any qualification to accept Lord's mercy. And if we think that on the strength of our sadhana, we will be able to develop that qualification, then it is very difficult for us, very difficult to us. So we should depend on Lord's mercy. We should pray to Lord that, oh Krishna, make me as you like, make me qualified so that you can love me, so that you can love me. So if you think that today I am not qualified to take your personal association, to have your to see you by my eyes, to serve you personally, I'm not qualified to enter into your pastimes and the serve you better. But I don't think that on the strength of my sadhanas, I don't think that on the strength of my abilities, I will be able to ever develop that path because I do not know I do not know how much mercy you are going to pour on me. Suppose the prasada is being served, but I just carry a small bowl. Then entire prasada that the temple serves during the feast, I cannot accept that a small bowl. So temple knows that if you are going to serve a large quantity prasada, then the patrata has to be very large. So Lord is very merciful. So I do not know how much mercy He is going to pour upon me. So if I carry my own prasada plate, then I will be able to accept only very small mercy of Lord's. Although He's pouring a lot. So we should pray to Lord that give me the qualification, make me suitable to accept your love, make me suitable so that I can serve you better. And then Lord will give first will give the patrata, just like in the temple, we first receive the plates. So if the quantity of prasada is very large, and if there is some liquid item, then the temple will also give you one glass also. If there need to be two glasses, temple will give you two glasses. So by looking at the plates arrangement, the size of the plate, and the glass, and number of small vessels, you can imagine that temple is going to give a lot of prasad to the fish there. So similarly, Lord is going to shower mercy a lot on us. And if we just depend on our ability to develop the qualification, it is very difficult because we cannot handle Lord's mercy. So therefore, we should depend on Lord. So Maya Sakta Manapartha Yogam Yunjan Madasraya. Lord says that practice this devotional service under my shelter and just depend on me. Yogam Yunjan Mad Asraya. Just depend on my shelter, my protection. Sarv Dharman Pratyaja Mam Ekam Saranam Braja. Just surrender to me. Follow the instructions. So, what does this mean? That for a devotee and a sadhaka like us, we just need to follow the instructions of the spiritual master, instructions of the literatures, and that is done. We just need to stand in the queues when the proper times comes. Do not envy a devotee who is already taking prasadam. Don't think that he will eat entire prasadam. Don't envy him. Somebody may be showing the symptoms of very exalted devotee. Don't envy him. You are in the queue. When your time comes, we'll also get the prasadam. Today, I may not have any patrata. I may think that what qualifications are required to receive Lord's mercy. I do not have any patrata. I do not have any qualification. Don't worry. When times come, Lord will give you that patrata, and Lord will shower your mercy also. So what we see that as long as we have this material body, so we see that in case of Jad Bharata also, Jad Bharata, although very exalted, but what Prabhupada writes here that he felt some kind of discomfort when Rahugana employed him to carry his palanquin, but that could not carry him away. Jad Jad Bharata was not carried away by those feelings. He was able to overcome. Saknoti यह prak seri vimokshanat kam krodha udbhavam begam. So Jar Bharata is compared to the sadhu because although he was angry, he felt discomfort, but he was able to overcome that. He was able to forgive Rahugana. So that is something we need to understand. And when we want to develop the qualification, or we want to surrender to Lord and we want to serve Lord, so there are three types of activities that are being discussed in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So one is Lord says that whatever activity that you do, all the activity that you do it for me. So he said that yat karosi, yat asnasi, yat juhosi, dadasi yat tapassasi konteya, tat kuru swamadarpanam. So it's like saying that you perform your task. So and whatever you do, you just offer it to me. So uh, it is said that chaturvarnyam maya system guna karma vibhagasa. So this all these different classes of classes to activity and the work has been divided and given by Lord himself. So today, although we do not have that nomenclature that he is Kshatriya, he is a Brahmana, and he's a Sudra, he's a Vaisya, but then also if you look around all this activity, we can clearly map those activity in different categories. Vaisyas are those who are helping in the economic development, business kind of things, and then there are people who are into the um, giving protections like police forces and the armed forces, and there are labor class of people who just work, and then there are brahmanas who are think tank who can think, who can teach. So this divisions what Lord created is all exists today also. We cannot deny because this is a creation of the Lord, and things will be there. We do not accept it today, and therefore we may rename it with different forms, but the things will remain as Lord has created. So Lord says that yat karosi, whatever you do, yat asnasi, whatever you eat, whatever you make an endeavor, if you give someone in charity, even suppose if I'm walking the road and I give some beggar comes and then I give it to him, or even if I beg to someone, so we are also like a beggar. We also beg to someone. So everyone is beggar in this world because one is begging in front of somebody who is superior. So one person who does not earn any money, so he's begging to someone who is earning 1,000 rupees, and the person who is earning 1,000 rupees, he is going to beg to person who is earning 1 lakh rupees. So similarly, everyone is begging to someone, give me this post, promote me to next level, give me this salary. So everyone is begging. Everyone is begging. So you beg to someone, you give to someone, you do something. What Lord says, you just offer it to me. So how do you offer it to Lord? Just by saying that, oh Lord, all the activity that I perform today or till my life, I just offer it to you. Just by saying this, just like when you do the in the marriage, in the marriage, they say kanya dan. So uh, girl's father says that I give my daughter to this to be husband or this boy, and then that is done. Similarly, whatever we say that I will do it. So in earlier times, the statement were enough. Nowadays, we need to have this legal document on the stamp paper written that he said, I will do it. I will adhere. So there are terms and conditions, and we just agreed. So because we do not, we may turn back and say that I did not agree. Therefore, there is a system of legal and then write it. But actually, just by saying that I will do it and I agree to terms condition, that is enough. So similarly, but just by saying that, oh Lord, I offer it to you, then that is enough. So even if you are somebody who is not able to perform devotional service day in and day out, and he is involved in all different kind of activities, but even if he wants to, he says that, oh Lord, whatever activity I perform and during the entire day, I just offer it to you. All my time, all my energy, everything I offer it to you. And now it depends on you how you receive it and how you utilize it. So that is called uh, I mean the first level of desire from Lord. So at least that much we can do. So I mean many devotees what they think that we are not able to engage ourselves 100% in the service of Lord because in the morning we do some sadhanas and then entire day we are not involved in any kind of devotional activity. We do not do because we go to offices is not related to work, but just think in different form. So think that this entire creation is created by the Lord. My abilities are given by the Lord. The work are designed by the Lord. Lord says that you do not have control over the fruits of your action. So the fruits are controlled by the Lord. So So everything, the entire creation, my ability, circumstances, situation, everything is being given by the Lord. And therefore, directly or indirectly, I am actually engaged in the Lord's activity. I may accept it or I may not accept it, but actually I'm engaged in Lord's activity. So if one accepts this and works in this mode, that although I'm going to office and doing the programming or going for marketing for the company or doing any kind of job, but actually I am doing the Lord's job only. I mean, I'm working for Lord's only because it is His creation. The earth belongs to Lord. I belong to Lord. My intelligence, Lord says that भूमि आपो अनलो वायु खम मनोबुद्धिरेव च अहंकार इत्यमे भिन्ना प्रकृति अष्टदा. So everything belongs to him. Aham sarvasya prabhamatta sarvam prabhatate iti matta bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. So everything emanates from him. So how can I claim that I'm working for myself? So for example, in a company, the employee goes there and he stays there for 8 hours or 9 hours or 12 hours, but during the entire stay, he comes and is talking to someone. He goes for a washroom. He eats something. He doing chit chat. Sometimes he's not working. But the entire stay in the company is counted as the working hours, and it is considered that the person has contributed to the growth of the company. Similarly, we are into this world. This world belongs to Krishna, and Krishna is the supreme. He controls everything. He controls my activities, my thoughts, my action, my body, entire thing. Then how do I claim that I'm working for myself or I'm working with this company? So just by adjusting our intelligence and thinking that this work I'm doing for Krishna and I offer entire results to the Krishna. So yat karosi, yat asnasi, yat juhosi, dadasi yat. Yat tapasasi konteya tat kuru samadarpanam. Everything that you do, you just do it for me or offer it to me. Tat kuru samadarpanam. Just offer it to me. So when I wrote my PhD thesis, in the first page, I wrote this sloka, verse number, chapter 9, verse number 27. And everyone was asking, what is the meaning of this verse? So I said that people used to write that I dedicate my PhD thesis to my father, to my teacher, and so on. But I did because Lord has already said that whatever you do, you dedicate it to me. So there is no one else dedicate. So I dedicate my thesis to Lord Krishna. I offered my thesis to Lord Krishna. So I wrote in the first page. If you open my thesis, I just wrote first page. This look yat karosi, yat asnasi, yat jihosi, dadasi yat. Yet tapasasi kontya tat kuru samadharpanam. So already direction is there, so offering. So this is the first level of offering service to Lord. And then the second level. Second level, so here it is like I think that I'm independent and I can do anything, and then I do it. And the second level is that Lord says, Yagyat karmano anyat loko em karmandana tadartham karma konteya mukta sangha samacharet. So second level is like Lord says, work for me, work for me. So those devotees who think that no, I will not work for any companies, but they are just working for Lord. So those who are full-time devoted in the devotion service, directly or indirectly, they are connected and they are not working for anyone. And directly, they are saying, for example, in the first case, I will have to say that I work for IBM, I work for Infosys, I work for this company, but internally, I'm managing it that although Infosys exists, the honor exists, but actually everything is being controlled by Lords only. So if there's a big company and there are smaller units are there, so it does not mean that a smaller unit is an independent entity. Actually, the smaller unit also belongs to a larger entity, and although you are working with a smaller entity, actually we are working with a bigger entity. Similarly, the entire creation belongs to Lord, Infosys, IBM, this, that, everything is the a smaller entity of that part, and I'm working for this. So actually, I'm working with the Lord only. So therefore, I offer everything to the Lord. Yad karosi, yad asnasi. So the second level is that directly. Directly meaning I don't say that I'm employed into a franchise company. I directly work in the headquarter of the company. So just like work in the temple, working with the temple. So all those who are engaged directly, indirectly, full time in the Lord's activity, and they do not think that I'm working for anyone else. So yagyat karmano. So he performs his duties as a father, as a mother. So he doesn't think that I'm working for IBM. What he thinks that I'm a father, I'm a mother, I'm a son, I'm a daughter, I'm this, and my duty is to look after my families, look after my countries, look after my society, and therefore I'm doing something. So I may be working to today IBM, tomorrow I work for Infosys, and next another company, but actually I'm performing my activity, and that is I'm doing it just to please the Lord, and I do not want anything else apart from this. I just perform my activity. So tadartham karma kantya. So we say that I work for the Lord. So book distribution or working in the temple or serving the temple. So that is called yagyat karmana tadartham karma kantya. So I work for the Lord. And the topmost one is that Lord said, Mat karma krit, mat paramaha, mat bhaktah sangavarjita, nirvaira sarabhutesu, yasa mameti pandava. Now the topmost one is like he he works, I mean, he works according to the plan of the Lord. Now Lord is controlling him. Mat karma krit, mat paramaha. Now this statement you can read like this, that he is not working for anyone, and all his senses, his desires, his intelligence, everything is being controlled by Lord, and he's working for Lord directly. No one is involved. So I mean, even if he moves his hand right or left, it's like Lord is controlling, and Lord personally controls, just like Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada and all the great acharyas and the Vaishnavas. So I may plan that let me open a temple, a big center, let me do a preaching program to please Srila Prabhupada or the acharyas. But for the acharyas, it's like Krishna is himself doing it. Like Krishna is directly doing it. It's not that they are doing it, they are planning. It's directly Lord Krishna is planning. So they are just the implementing the Lord's plan. So directly. So that is what. So one who has purified his senses, one who has been able to overcome this calm growth, one who is able to surpass this material modes of nature. So for them, his entire heart is clean, Cheta Dharmajanam. The Lord controls entire his activities. So how can we achieve, how can we reach to the stage? Yad korosi, yad asnasi, tadatham karma kontyat mat karma krit. So Lord says, mat karma ke samay, I mean, he's doing my work only. Directly, he's doing my work. So, for example, there may be a devotee who is outside temple. He comes to temple and brings something for the temple. So whatever he does, he gives some money or he does some services like. Second person is like a devotee who is within the temple, and then he does what is good for the temple, and what has been assigned the task. But there is one devotee who is like temple president, and he directly works as the president instructs. So like if he's working, if you see him working somewhere, then you know that actually president wanted to do this activity, and therefore he's working. So his activity do not compare to his personal activity, but his activity directly considered that president is activity. Similarly, at great devotees who are completely surrendered, his all senses, everything is completely surrendered to Lord, then Lord takes in charge of his activities, and then all the activities, thinking, his sleeping, his roaming, his dancing, all activities are done by humans. Just like Srila Prabhupada. So once someone asks that how could you write so many books? So Srila Prabhupada said that I don't write. Actually, Lord Krishna dictates and I just follow it. So whatever Srila Prabhupada wrote, it was just like dictation by Lord Krishna, and he was not writing out of his own intelligence, out of his own capacity. So it's like his activities are like directly being controlled by Lord Krishna. So we can transition from yad karosi yad asnasi tadatham kandyat mat karma krit to that level, that our activities are being guided by Lord Himself. Not guided, actually, Lord is performing his task. and we are just the instrument. So to achieve that stage, we cannot do it by our own self, but just by developing the desire, just by developing the desire that, oh Lord, make me suitable to accept your mercy. Give me that qualification. I cannot develop it from my side. That is required. So that is what we understand from this verse also. So as Prabhupada writes in purport that titikchava karunika suhida sarva dehinam. And similarly, Lord of says the mat karma krit, mat paramaha, mat bhakta sangavarjita, nirvairaha sarvabhutesu, yasa mamete pandava. Nirvairaha sarvabhutesu and titikchava karunika suhida sarva dehinam. They are all the same concept. And Lord says that a saintly devotee is very tolerant, and he's a friend of all living entities. How can one be very tolerant? One who loves everyone, he can only be tolerant. Just for example, children's they commit so many offenses. So, my small son, he sometimes urinates in the night on my body, but I just tolerate it. But just think about that I'm traveling in a bus and the co-passenger just urinate on me. I will not tolerate it. I will fight with him because the way I love my son, I do not love the co-passenger. I do not love the entire creation. That love is not within me. But a person who loves everyone, he can tolerate all the activities. Then the question is like, uh, I mean, just think about that. What if Rahugana did not pray and ask for forgiveness? Then what? So this time it said that Rahugana employed Jadbharata to carry the palanquin, and Jadbharata did not like it, but he forgave Rahugana because he asked for the pardon. But what will happen if Rahugana did not ask for the pardon and he did not accept his fault, and he continued uh, continued with Jarbharata being employed in Palanquin, and just he carried to destination where he wanted to go, and even insulting him, saying very harsh word. So he just carried it. He doesn't care who is this person, and he did not care whatever Jad Bharata told. He did not understand anything, and he said that I don't know what you're saying. Just keep quiet and just carry a palanquin. You are just my servant, and he did that. What would happen? So I do not know what may have happened, but what I think that we can understand from the example of Narada Muni. Narada Muni cursed Nalkuvar and Manigriva, and to rectify them. But there is another instance in the Jar Bharata's life. So you can discuss. So we should discuss these points among the devotees. So when you discuss this point among devotees, then we get a topic of discussion. We get something to ask to the senior devotees, and that is how the discussion starts. Otherwise, if you do not discuss this kind of topic, then what happened that we just listen to the lectures, we just listen to class or read Bhagavatam, and that's done, and that is done. So another incident that happened in the life of Jar Bharata was like he was taken by the dacoits or the thieves, and they were about to sacrifice him in front of goddess Kali. But at that time, Jar Bharata did not preach them. He did not say anything. Here, Rohguna is not killing him. Rohguna is not killing him. He just employed him to carry his palanquin. And Rohguna was a devotee. I mean, may not be very good devotee, but he was in the mode of devotee. He used to listen to discourses, and then he was going for some spiritual programs only, and he wanted to go early, and therefore he was in very hurry. So here, Jar Bharata was instructing him on so many topics, but those dacoits and the thieves who were able to kill him, but he did not speak any word. He did not say even a sentence. So in Bhagavatam, if you read, then you do not read that he said anything to the dacoits and the thieves who were about to kill him. They fed him, put him garland, and then they were about to kill him, and then goddess Kali has to come personally and save him. Otherwise, he did not even try to save himself. But here he was, trying to instruct. So, so what I think, and maybe we should discuss, and you can discuss, you can contemplate and think about it, that a devotee will always speak if there is a qualified person. If somebody is qualified, so Jad Bharata did not speak to Rahugana to showcase that he is very knowledgeable and do something, because it was out of his mercy that he spoke to Rahugana. He thought that Rahugana is on, say, UKG level, and then he need to promote it to class 1 level, something like that, or next level. So, and he thought that he will be able to understand, he will be able to accept it, and he can then go to next level. And therefore he preached him. He gave the instruction. But for the dacoits and the thieves, they were in a such a level that it was not possible to preach, not possible to preach. And Rahugana was not worried about his life or anything, and he was always under protection of Lord Krishna, and therefore he did not preach them, he did not talk to them. And therefore we see that there are three kind of devotees. Kanishta, Madhyamadikari, and the Uttamadikari. So we can see that uh, his behavior, Jarabhata behavior, was a mix of advanced devotee and the Madhyamadikari. So he behaved like an advanced devotee, and he also preached like a Madhyamadikari. So very exalted devotees, they think that everyone is serving Lord, everyone engaged in Lord service, so why there is need to preach? But then that Uttamadikari, he comes down to the Madhyamadikari, and then they preach. So that is the best preaching. They can change the heart, they can change the perspective, they can bring changes in the life, they can elevate a person from one level to another level. So that is what happens. So he did not preach. So we also understand that every time we cannot preach. Many times in offices, what happens that we encounter some person and who are in such a gross mode of ignorance that it's not possible to preach. And even if you try to preach them, it is no use. There's no use of preaching them. But then we may encounter some person who are receptives, who are good, they are ready to listen to us, and then we can preach to those kind of persons. So some persons are like dacoits and thieves in the lives of Jar Bharat, and some people are like Rahugana. So how do you know that who is thieves, dacoits, and Rahugana? So if some person is able to understand that they have some fault, they need some advice, they are ready to listen. So those are the kind of people we can preach. And but one person who never, they do not identify their mistakes. They are not able to understand that they are doing some offenses, and then we try to correct them. There is no use. So to correct them, the best method was followed by Goddess Durga, Goddess Kali. She came out from the her Vigraha and just killed them. Nothing works for them. No preaching will work for them. And similar thing is going to happen at the end of Kali Yuga. So now there is a chance of preaching, but at certain point of time, no preaching, no reading, nothing will work, and then Kalki Avatar will come, and then he will preach appropriately to all the people. So that is what. So from the life of Jarabharata, we learn many things. So the chapter is very nice, and so how Jarabharata life changed from the king to the deer, and then in the next level Jarabharata. So sometimes what we think is like who who we are. Who we are in the sense that should we behave like Jarabharata in life to attain this qualification, or should we behave like King Jarabharata? King Jarabharata, who was king, and then he gave out everything, and then he was completely absorbed in different services. Or should we behave like dear Jarabharata, dear Bharata, who was not interacting with anyone? He just lived his life, and then he died, remembering his activities in the past, and then he got another chance of Jar Bharata. And should we live like that? So it is always good to follow the instructions of spiritual master, what is good for us, what is good for us. And even if we try to imitate Jarabharata, we will not be able to imitate him. So the best way is that we follow the instructions, and we, just like we were discussing about the example of the prasadam queues. So we just follow the instructions. We are in the queue. We are asked that do not move here and there. Just be in the queues. And so just be in the queues. What does this mean? Is like just follow the daily rituals, chanting, reading, associating with devotees, singing devotional songs, reading Bhagavatam, and even we think that nothing is happening. I mean, even if we think that for last 20 years or 30 years, I have been practicing chanting, but I do not see anything. I do not cry while chanting. I do not feel any kind of jubilations when I chant. So do not worry about it, because you are in the right path, and we are doing the right thing. Just like if somebody wants to lose weight, somebody wants to gain weight, somebody wants to build muscles, they go to gym. But it is not that suddenly in a week or two they start seeing the differences. They just continue it, and then suddenly they will see that everyone starts saying, "Oh, you lost weight. Oh, you have built your muscles. You look so great. You look so healthy." Similarly, will happen to us. And here is like, if we are dependent on our sadhana, we say that by our sadhana we can achieve something. Then I can run. I can chant. I can chant more. I can do this. I can do that, and build, because it all depends on me to achieve this qualification. But the qualification is so big qualification required, that by our own endeavor we cannot achieve that qualification. We can achieve something, some level of qualification, and that qualification that we can achieve is that develop a taste for performing this daily spiritual activity. That is the best qualification that we can achieve. And rest qualification of romancha kampa, I mean, uh, tears are coming out, and the hairs are standing on when we chant, when we dance. All the qualification we are able to see Lord Krishna. We are just like Narottam Das Thakur, he prays that Nitya Leela Sphure. I mean, so that he can see the Nitya Leela of Radha Krishna always in front of his eyes. So those are things will come, and when Lord gives us those qualifications, when the spiritual master bestows us that qualification. So now the best qualification that we can achieve is develop a taste. And what is the formula to develop the taste for that? So Lord says that in Brahma Samhita, if you read in Brahma Samhita, so there Lord says that by following this process, you will develop a desire. Mam ichhaptam. You develop a desire to achieve me. So that only a small desire we need to just develop. And how we will develop the desire is, if you think that it is important, if you think that it is important, and how do I know that I mean my intelligence and I think it is important? Because if I do not feel any trouble in following my sadhanas, so Lord says that yatantascha drid vrata. Yatantascha means one has to endeavor for it. Jatan, one has to endeavor for it, and drid vrata, with firm determination one has to do it. So we have to make endeavor. That means it is not going to happen automatically. We will have to put in some endeavor. And a person who does not feel that he's putting a lot of endeavor, he does not feel that he's undergoing trouble. Because if a person he wants to achieve something, and he has in his mind, in his intelligence, that that is something big he want to achieve, and he want to achieve by any way, and therefore he will not feel the pains and pleasure. For example, you may have seen the students who study for IIT exams or IS exams. They study for long hours, 16 hours, 17 hours, some long hours. So we have seen that in Delhi, they stay in very confined spaces. They don't have much space to move, and they spend a lot of money. But they never think about the trouble they are going through. They never think about that I paid so much money. They never think about that I'm working so hard. So similarly, if we also do not think that I have to wake up early in the morning, I have to do the chanting, I have to do the fasting, I have to do the reading, I have to do the service, I have to do this. I do not think that thought is not in mind. How much trouble we are taking for the Lord, how much trouble we are taking for doing our sadhana. If that thought does not comes in our mind, we never think about it. We just do it, just do it, just do it, just do it. And you increase it, increase it, increase it. And then we can know that we have developed a taste for it. And that is the qualification that we should target it now. And other qualification, Lord says that Lord says that uh, that uh, that mat karmakit mat paramaha aham sarvasya mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante ma. So knowing that he is supreme, his Lord is so powerful, Lord is everything. So that by knowing this, we perform our divine services. Although it is said that in the Raganuga Bhakti, in the Braja Bhakti, the devotees they forget the opulence of the Lord. But Narada Muni in the Bhakti Sutra he said that for a sadhaka they should not forget the opulence of the Lord, because once they forget the opulence of the Lord they fall down. So we should remember the opulence of the Lord. Aham sarvasya matta sanapravartate iti matta bhajante mam buddha bhava samanimita. Mat karmakit mat paramaha. Knowing that he is supreme. And the moment to develop that there's something I want to achieve, I want to achieve the Lord, I want to associate with the Lord, I want to see Lord with my eyes, I want to participate in his activities, in leelas, I want to serve him, I want to be my spiritual master. So all those, so that desire is the qualification that we need to develop. And other things will Lord give us. All qualification that is required will Lord give us, provide us. So that desire is something that we need to develop, and so that is enough. So we can continue in some other classes or on this discussion. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak, and I'm also praying to Lord that he make me qualified. He make me qualified to achieve to receive His mercy, and we're just chanting. We're just following it in the path of Srila Prabhupada, what Prabhupada gave us. So very indebted to Srila Prabhupada because I was not knowing Srila Prabhupada, and I'm also indebted to all the devotees who introduced me to this path of Krishna Bhakti. And now I realize where I was, and I'm in a very safe place. I'm in lost protection. Everyone is under lost protection, but now we feel it that we are under lost protection, and we just pray to Lord that, and we are also pray to all the devotees. So what it is said here that even if you commit some mistakes, we should immediately, immediately submit himself to the Lord, lotus feet of Vaishnavas. So we should always ask Vaishnavas that please forgive me, because many times what happens that knowingly, unknowingly, by a behavior, we commit some kind of offenses. If I say something, a devotee doesn't like it. I give an example, he doesn't like it. So he may have some he doesn't like that way. So we should always, whenever we meet devotee, we should always say that, Prabhu, if I have done something mistake, please forgive me. So we should always ask forgiveness, just like to save ourselves. We should not think that why to ask forgiveness, because I'm not any mistake, I'm not harmed him. But this harm is very, very subtle, very subtle. You do not know who maybe get offended by your just smile. You are smiling, but somebody may get offended because you smile. So you may remember that from the Sad Goswami, he was just smiling, looking at the leelas. He was in the leelas of Radha Krishna, and then he was smiling. And then a Vaishnavas who was limping, and then he was passing by, and he thought that he is smiling because I'm limping, and then that was the offense. So we do not know that today morning while coming to temple, I just pushed out a sandal to other side to make space for my sandal. And then the devotee, he kept it sandal there. He comes then and he said, what kind of devotees are there? They just push my sandal. And then he made offenses. And then I made offense to him. So, I mean, very small things may be there, and we can make comments. So it is always a good practice that every morning we should Vancha Klapatur Bhesa Kripa Sundevacha Patanam Pavan Vaishnavyo Namo Namah. Oh Vaishnavas, please forgive me for anything. And when we meet, mostly to devotees who meet every day, we should always say that you see the magic will happen. Your heart will melt, and the heart of the devotees to whom you ask will also melt. And you say, no, 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 Prabhu, nothing offense. You are so humble. That's done. So by repeatedly doing this, even if you have made some offenses, that will go away. And the proof, what is the proof? Proof is that if you ask forgiveness to 10 devotees in the day, next day, you will see that your chanting quality will improve. So that is the proof that the devotee has forgiven you, and then we are on the right path. So there's a very nice verse that we discussed. Thank you very much. So I also ask forgiveness to all the devotees here, that if my any words or examples were not good, I offended someone, so please forgive me. So Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandat Pranam. So nice, wonderful nectarian. Nicely covered. So nicely. Last almost an hour taken us through the. I mean, very nicely covered, tolerating the senses, kama, krodha, and senses we cannot control. Then forces, vegas touched upon that. Then it very nicely touched upon the example of Q, prasada Q, my patra. So it's very nicely covered. And your own offering, Yat Karoshi, that's really wonderful. And of course, Jada Bharatas, he doesn't speak for show of his own qualification. He, time, place, circumstance, he speaks. And of course, finally, he gave example of Jim to yes, continuous practice sadhana nicely and develop a desire. That's the final touch upon. Of course, finally, the offering prayers or asking forgiveness. So nicely covered, Prabhu. Wonderful. Thank you. Now, devotees can unmute and ask any questions or comments, realization. Anyone, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams. Thanks for the wonderful class, Prabhu. Prabhu, I missed that verse you said for the second level of devotional service. Can you please repeat, Prabhu?
And Bhagavata 3.9. So Yagyat Karmano. Yagyat Karmano Anita Lokoyam Karamandana. Tadatham Karma Kontiya Mukta Sangha Samachara. So one works for the Lord, but the final level is that he's working just like a desire. He is doing the act. He's fulfilling the desire of the Lord. So mat karma ki, just like Prabhupada fulfilled the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that one Senapati Bhakta will come and spread entire world. So actually, Prabhupada did the work of the Lord. So that is the first, highest level.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. But I felt both second and third level same, Prabhu.
Yeah, it looks same. If you see that Tadartham, so Tadartham karma, I work for the Lord. So, for example, just take one example. So there is a celebration of Prabhupada Disappearance Day, okay, and then devotees are engaged, and somebody wants to serve, to take participate in that activity. So all the activity are designed, and the temple president is there. He already designed many activity, and then he distributed. So that is working for. There, all the devotees are working for the celebration of Srila Prabhupada. But there is one devotee who is directly following the instruction of temple president, directly following instructions. So in that case, he may say that, okay, bring that chair. But in the half, he may say that, no, leave it there. Then while he's going to leave the chair, no, bring it here. So he doesn't mind that way. So other devotee, he minded. He may say that you already gave some plan, and while I was executing, you stop me in between. So let me finish the task. So that is they are working for. But just like, for example, in my mind, I'm thinking, let me do this. Then I cancel it. No, I will do that. Then again cancel it. Oh no, let me try this. Again cancel it. So my mind does not say that why did I start something and cancel it. So it's just like working like his hand, just like his plan. So everybody working for his plan, but they're directly instructing, working with the plan. Just like Srila Prabhupada did what Lord Chaitanya said or Shastra said, he will respect. So actually everyone is doing, but he was directly, I mean, Lord, Srila Prabhupada prays in the poem that he wrote, we read that he said that, why did you brought me in this country? I'm just puppet in your hand. Just behave me like this. I will speak whatever you say. So although we also say, but sometimes we speak something which our mindset. So there is a very fine difference between these two, but the next level is very really top level.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. The second level is working for the Lord, following somebody's instructions, and the third level is spontaneously doing like that. No, Prabhu. That's what I understood, Prabhu.
No, you are not doing your from your own views. You do not know what your body is working. I mean, in the second level, you are aware what you are doing. In the third level, you are not aware what you are doing, because you are not doing yourself. Everything is controlled by Lord.
Oh, yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Thanks for the wonderful class, Prabhu. As I said, to improve our quality of chanting, forgiveness, which we are not doing at all, Prabhu. So if you follow that forgiveness every day, then you said the quality of chanting will improve.
Yes, Mother.
That way today we could understand, Prabhu, because our quality of chanting is still, we are very in the low level. So we are working on that in the group in the morning.
Yes, Mother.
So this point will add up to our improvement. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Very nice. As you rightly said, we always, whatever we do, the work we say, it is dedicated to my parents, dedicated to my in-laws, dedicated to the husband. At that time, we did not know about the Krishna because we thought they are responsible for our existence and continuing in the profession. I just written a small book. In that I have written, because it is because of my husband and also because of my parents and in-laws, I was able to practice my profession, so I dedicated. But now I know it's all because of Krishna. I think better late than never. Late realization. Thank you so much for the wonderful class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else? Any comments? It's already 8:15 crossed. So yeah, so no other. Thank you, Premavasya Prabhu, once again. Eagerly waiting to see you again. Please give your divine association for all of us. So thank you. So we'll end with the Vaishnava Pranam. Vancha Kalpatarabhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namanam. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Premavasya Prabhu Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Pranam. I'll end the meeting now. Tomorrow, same time.